So good morning, friends. It's Judith. It's Friday. Yay, weekend. It's a 1 hour gentle Kripalu yoga class, as you all know. We use a yoga mat in this class. If you don't have a mat today, you could substitute with a folded blanket or beach towel on a carpeted surface, preferably. Uh, Yoga straps are a great prop to have available. And you could substitute a yoga strap with a scarf, a dog leash, a belt, a bathrobe tie, something like that would be easy to stand in. And then here is a styrofoam yoga block. Two of them are really great props to have. If you don't have these, you might want to substitute with a couple of canned goods of equal size and weight. What else? I have these little handmade things. This is a rolled up towel. I use it as a little bolster for behind my knees and maybe for, cushioning different places as I might need. This is a squishy mat. But you can also use small pillows. I emphasize small, not a bed pillow, but from the bed or the sofas. Little ones are nice to have, or rolled towels or blankets. And hand weights, those are optional. I have a set of 1 pounders here, and I would recommend nothing heavier than 2 pounds for this class. And that's just if you want to add more challenge to the workout. You may not want to do that. So just a suggestion. And then the chair. So this is a standard metal folding chair. Definitely no wheels, preferably no arms. If whatever is being offered today doesn't work for your body, as you know, you can modify. You could do something else, another posture that you enjoy, or you could skip it altogether. So you are in charge. And I will be happy to answer questions at the end of class. I do have a book about yoga and osteoporosis I want to recommend, so don't rush off. If you're interested in that, I'm going to type it into the chat. Okay, so let's get started. Let's start with the feet directly underneath the hips, the toes point forward, and we'll just start by lifting heels left and then right, left and right. So just a very subtle shift in the weight, nothing big, but just waking up the feet, waking up the toes, pumping some blood into those little tiny digits in your feet. Let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Maybe you want to stay here at this pace, but maybe if you want to double time, you can double time it. Riding your invisible bicycle up the mountain. Here we go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Maybe you want to stay here, but maybe breaking into a baby march. Nothing violent, just a little baby march. We'll do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Keep marching. 2 and 1. And now we'll go out, out, in, out, in, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then slowly back to center. Keep moving with the legs. Just a very baby march. And now we're going to cross arm and leg in the opposite direction. So we're crossing the midline with left arm, crossing the midline with the right bent knee, and vice versa. So let's go out and cross, out and cross. So it may take a few attempts to get it going, but once you get it going, see if you can keep moving. We'll do 8, 7, 6, 5, cross the midline, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then slowly, just bring things down. Just mark your place with the feet. And then slowly come back to stillness. Very nice. Shake out the arms and the legs and the feet and the hands. Legs come wide now. Let's circle some hips here. So as you know, it's inhaling forward and then squeezing navel to spine as you circle in the back. Inhaling and exhaling. We'll do 4, 3, 2, corkscrew back to center on 1, and then circling the hips in the opposite direction. Inhaling and exhaling. We'll do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice, very nice. And then coming back to center. Nice and easy. Let's give everything a little loosey-goosey shake. Nice. Legs can be about shoulder width apart. And your torso, everything is facing forward to the long end of your mat or the front of your space. You're squared off to your screen. And so the right hand is going to slide down that right leg. Left fist goes into left armpit. Come back to center. Left hand slides down opposite left leg. Right fist goes into right armpit. So it's though the body is pressed between 2 panes of glass. You the sandwich filling. And you're just kind of sliding down side to side. So we're giving a nice stretch to the intercostal muscles, which attach to the side ribs. Let's just do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then back to center. Let's take a big breath in here. Inhale up. Exhale, press the air down by the side of the body. Inhale up. Exhale, press. Last one. Inhale up. Exhale, press. Let's re-elevate the arms now and climb an invisible rope, an invisible ladder. The chest is squared to the front of your space. We'll do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then the arms come out to the side. See if you can drop the shoulders away from the ears. We're going to go halfway down with a flat back. So the fingertips stretch to the side walls if you need more support. Hands could rest on thighs, but it's not a death press on the thighs. We'll do 4, 3, 2, 1. And then the hands can slowly come down to the mat. And then shake the head yes here. Just come into a forward fold. Let the head hang here. Shake the head no. Maybe add horse lips. It goes to Mr. Ed. Little breathing here. And maybe little ragdoll sways starting side to side. You might want to interlace fingers or grab opposite elbows and switch side to side. We'll do 4, 3, squeeze the abs, 2, 1. Nice, back to center. Now the hands come to the mat. If you need to come out of that pose to grab blocks, if you want to use blocks, here's an opportunity to use blocks. If you don't want to use the blocks or don't have them, you will modify. So if you're not using the blocks, the fingertips come to the mat. You're in a wide leg forward fold. You're going to extend the arms forward with the fingertips on the mat. If you're using blocks, put them on the tall side and you're going to just walk them forward until you come to a sticking point. If you go farther, you're going to do a face plant. We don't want to do that. So imagine there's the strap around your hips. It's pulling you to the wall behind. The arms and the crown of the head are stretching forward. So you're getting a two-way stretch going on here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Staying in the wide leg forward fold. The hands or the blocks tiptoe over to the right. Now, if you want to just do little pulses into that left bent knee, big stretch now to the left side of your body. We'll do 4, 3, squeeze the abs, 2, last one, nice. And then coming back to center. tiptoeing back through center, over to the left. Now you might want to bend your right knee. And you stretch and move towards the right. Big stretch for the whole right side of the body. We'll do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Back to center. Now you got your blocks and you stretched forward. You're going to take the blocks back more towards neutral. And then the hands come to the mat. Everybody's hands comes to the mat, and you're going to walk through the legs until you can't go any farther. Your optimum stretch with the hands behind you. The head is bowed here. You can let the head hang. We'll pause here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Hands come forward. If you're using a block, grab a block, a tall block, or you could swing the chair around and you could place your hand for support on the chair seat, so you can decide. You may not need any support for this. So now the right forearm is going to rest on the right thigh. Your left hand can rest on mat, block, or nothing. And the left leg is straight, so you're stretching out that adductor muscle on the left leg, which gets overlooked. The left heel is into the mat, the toes point to sky. Little pumps to the right. We'll do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Glide through center without rising up, hopefully. Left forearm on left thigh. Right hand on mat. Tall block or nothing, maybe the chair seat. Now you're pumping into the left hip. The right leg is now stretched straight. You're stretching that right adductor muscle, which gets overlooked. And the right heel digs into the mat, the toes point to the sky. Little pumps. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Back to center. I'm taking my block with me. Legs are still wide. Inhale, knees track over toes, big squat. Exhale, straighten the legs as you bow to your mat or your block. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, straighten the legs. We'll do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then pausing here, grab right hand on right ankle, left hand on left ankle as you draw that chest through the legs. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Unwind the arms, hands come back to mat or block. Heel toe the feet together or step the feet together. You can choose. And I'll do this in profile so you can see. So the feet are directly under hips, hands start at the ankles. A series of flat back lifts. Dragging the hands along the shins. Inhale, flat back lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back lift. Exhale, forward fold. We'll do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then the hands come to the thighs. You're going to stack the bones, come slowly to standing. Roll the shoulders, open the chest. Oh, let's roll some shoulders. I don't think we rolled our shoulders yet. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Going in the other direction. Noticing any differences or not. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Shake everything out. Nice and easy. Okay. Let's go ahead and put the blocks off to the side. Let's go ahead and face our chair seat. So we're here in front of the chair seat, you're gonna face it, and the body becomes a right angle here. So crown of head lines up with tailbone, you're not letting the head collapse. And so you have a right angle with the body here. And I won't mirror you for this. So shift the weight into your left leg, right bent knee into nose. Inhale, bend, exhale, extend it. Donkey kicks, bending and stretching for 8, 7, or as many as you can manage. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We extend, point the toe, touch down, and lift for 4, 3, 2, 1. Refloat. We bend the right knee, float it out to the right, circles with the bent knee in the air for 4, 3, 2, 1. Other way. 4, 3, 2, 1. Right foot comes down. Micro bend the knees left and right. Maybe you want to rise up just for a pause between sides to recover. Let the blood flow kind of get reorganized and settled here. Let's do the other side. Again, the body makes a right angle. Try not to let the head dangle. You're going to shift the weight into your right leg, left bent knee into nose. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Donkey kicks. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Repoint the toe, leg is straight, touch down, and lift for 4, 3, 2, 1. Refloat, rebend left knee, comes out to the side in the air, circles 4, 3, 2, 1. Other direction. 4, 3, 2, 1. Left foot meets the right. Micro bend the knees, left and right. Slowly rise up. Don't pop up. You don't want to fall down. Get dizzy. Roll the shoulders, open the chest. Very nice. And shake everything out. Let's go ahead and sit in our chairs. Move this away so there's some space. Right. So if you want to have a block in front of you, that's an option. You may not need it or wish to use it. Just a suggestion. And then the bum can be placed on the chair seat, closer to the front than the back. You're going to cross your right ankle on top of the left thigh. Right ankle on top of left thigh, and that top right foot stays flexed throughout. You're going to bend your right elbow. Right below where the kneecap ends, you're going to start pressing your elbow into that soft part of the thigh as you work your way down all the way to the groin area. We're pressing on reflexology points. You're going to do 3 passes, starting below the kneecap on the inside of your right thigh. Little polka dots. You're decorating the inside of your left thigh. And once you've done your 3 passes, very nice, then you're going to bring that to stillness. You're going to take your index finger and thumb, and you're going to surround the shin bone. You're not on the shin bone. And you're going to press into the sides of the shin, along the sides of the shin bone, all the way down to the ankle. And you're going to do that 3 times. Notice any sore spots, tight spots you didn't even know were there, possibly. And then come back up again for round 3 for the shin bone. The shin bone squeeze. And then we're going to do the same thing, except it's on the round part, the back part of the calf here. So you're squeezing that round part of the calf all the way down to the ankle. And you're going to do 3 passes for that. This is a good way to wake yourself up in the morning if you feel groggy or not quite awake yet. And then when that's finished, wonderful. Then the right hand is going to softly pump the inside of the right thigh. You're sitting nice and tall. Here again, working on pumping synovial fluid into the right side of the pelvic girdle. And you're remembering to breathe. See if you can coordinate the breath with the movement. So bringing that pulsing to stillness, the right forearm slips under the right calf. You're going to lift the whole leg and rock your baby here. You want to name your baby, you can. Or if you can circle the knee, that might feel good. If you're circling, circle in both directions. Or it could just be a little movement side to side, whatever feels right. And when that feels complete, replace that same right ankle on top of the left thigh. The right foot is still flexed. Inhale up with the arms. Exhale, going over an invisible pile of whatever. If you have long arms, you might reach the floor. I'm not anywhere close. Maybe I could reach the block. And if that doesn't work, then you grab opposite elbows. Now here, think about stretching forward with the torso so you're not collapsing over those legs. And you're moving side to side, maybe little micro movements. And then one last thing, this top right foot is flexed. Now you're also going to externally rotate it. You should automatically feel it in the outer right hip. So we're getting a big tug, a big stretch to that outer right hip. We'll do 4. Staying calm and relaxed. 3. 2. Last one. Nice. Very nice. Coming back to center. Now rising up slowly with the torso. Don't pop up. Right hand on right kneecap. Unwind the leg. And just circle again the femur bone. Getting out any air bubbles, any other materials that don't belong there. And then you're going to circle in the other direction. And then that foot can come down. Now we do the other side. So now left ankle crosses on top of right thigh. Left ankle crosses on top of right thigh. The top left foot will stay flexed throughout. And you're going to bend your left elbow and just below where the kneecap ends, on the inside, the soft part of the thigh, you're going to paint little invisible polka dots down the inside of your left thigh all the way to the groin. And you'll do 3 passes just like that. Pressing again on we have reflexology points, pressure points throughout the body, part of the electrical highway system. And then you're going to do 3rd pass. So keeping those channels open, active, alive, very important. And when that feels complete, you're going to take your index finger and thumb, and you're going to squeeze the outsides of the shin bone. You're not on the shin bone, you're beside the shin bone. And you're going to go all the way down to the ankle. 3 times you're going to squeeze, finding new spots, maybe new sore spots you didn't know were there, or maybe you knew were there, all too aware they were there. And then the 3rd time down the shin bone, squeezing. And then the same thing, but on the round part of the calf behind. You could even use both hands, the index finger and thumb, to squeeze. And you're going to squeeze up and down 3 times. Nice and gentle. And then that feels complete. You're going to bend your left elbow. I'm sorry, no, you're going to take your left hand and do the elbow, and you're going to pump the thigh here. So again, we're working on synovial fluid being pumped now into the left side of the pelvic girdle. Little pumps. And let's bring that to stillness. Then you're going to take your left forearm underneath the calf. The other hand grabs the foot. You're going to rock the twin baby. If you want to name your baby, name your babies. Or circle the knees if that feels even more exciting than the side to side. Who knows? This side might feel different, of course, than the other side. And then you're going to replace that same ankle, left ankle on top of right thigh. The top left foot is still flexed. You're gonna inhale up, exhale, stretch over your invisible pile of whatever. My hands still don't get to the floor. My fingertips, I can get to the block easier on this side. If you can't even reach the block, then you can just grab opposite elbows and hang out at the top. So think about stretching forward the torso. Try not to collapse into a little shell. So you're grounding through your sits bones. I'm doing a little movement side to side. In addition, this top left foot, you're going to flex it externally, which means you should feel an extra little tug on the outside of the left hip. And so now you can either stay it as a static press, or maybe it's little micro movements side to side. We'll do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Very nice. And then coming back to center, slowly rising up with the torso. You can unwind the leg, left hand on left kneecap. And again, circling that femur bone into the socket, and both circling both directions. And opening up those hips. Just go ahead and think nice and wide with the legs. And now we're going to go. Let's just go forward. Let's lead with the chin as we go forward. Exhaling forward. Tucking the chin as you roll it up. 2 more. Exhaling forward. Inhale, rolling it up. Last one. Exhale. Inhale. Let's reverse it. Tuck chin. Inhale, tucking. First, exhale, stretching forward the spine. So you're swimming underwater and you're breaking the waves as you rise up. 2 more. Last one. Very nice. Coming back to center. And then the legs come back together. Let's bounce the feet and the legs. For 8. Do a little choreography if that feels good. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, B. Last one. Nice. Very nice. And then slowly bringing them down. Very gently. Let's stack the palms over the heart center. A little sit to stand action here. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Let's do 4, 3. Don't rush it. 2. This last one, don't land, don't re-land, but hover. Little pumps here. We'll do 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten it up. The legs, arms come out. Shake everything out. Big breath in. Inhale up. Exhale, press it away. And now we're going to move the chairs away. We're going to go down on the earth. I will give you a Cliff's Notes tutorial on how to use the chair to get down on the mat if you have anxiety, and more importantly, being able to get back up off of the mat. So you're going to face your chair seat. And then you're going to grab the outer rim of the chair. Most of the weight will go in your arms. You're going to shift the weight to one leg, float one knee down, gently land it. Second leg can join it. You're on the earth. To get back up, same thing. Grab sides of chair rim, maybe the whole chair seat itself. Maybe you want to assist one leg forward. And then these back toes are tucked. Again, the weight will go in your arms. You're going to lift the bum, press into the arms. Inhale. Exhale. One foot under the chair seat, second foot under the chair seat. And then the back of the chair you can grab to rise up slowly to avoid getting dizzy, avoid the head rush, etc. So now Those who are not using the chair to get on the mat, you can grab your blocks and have them there at the narrow end of your mat. So there won't be any searching later for them. And so we're going to face that narrow end of the mat. Let's do some swan dives. Inhale up, exhale, swan dive forward, come straight back up. Inhale up, exhale, swan dive forward. Lifting and bowing. The next time we lift, and we're going to stay down, fingertips can come to low blocks or the mat. Here you can let the head hang. So that head is acting like a 15-pound bowling ball. It's tractioning the spine. The feet stay flat, and you're going to micro bend the knees left and right, stretching out the low back. Big full breaths. We'll do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Feet and legs come to stillness. Hands can go on mat or low blocks as you step back into down dog. So your down dog, your body's in a triangle shape. The chest is pressing close to the tops of the thighs. You're going to bicycle pedal the heels, wag your dog tail. Big full breaths here. Stretching that whole back body for 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then just stretching back, the heels pressing into the mat as you stretch out the hamstrings for 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees float down to the mat. Big toes together, knees wide apart. Press into child pose. This is where I take my impromptu bolster and place it behind the backs of my knees. And then I press the hips back towards the heels. The towel just gives you more space to get that done. And now we're stretching the tops of the feet, the tops of the thighs, the quads. Maybe the forehead rests on the mat. And the arms could be near the legs or they could be stretched forward in front. Now, if the forehead isn't reaching the mat, option 1, stack palms, rest the forehead there. Option 2, stack fists, rest the forehead there. Or take the low block if you have one, and you can rest the forehead there. And then once you've organized your best version of child pose, you might want to just let that body melt into the mat. Let Mother Earth support you. Relax the face and the jaw, the back of the neck. Maybe there's little micro movements side to side, little wiggles, east to west. Maybe nothing but a static press. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Back to center. And then coming only halfway out of child here, you're going to take the top of your right foot, nestle it into the arch of the left foot, and then press back, smushing your bottom left foot. So now we're pumping blood and fresh chi into that foot. The arms and the hands go on the earth to the left. The right hip pushes right, 45 degrees on the diagonal. Now you've created a huge stretch on the right side of the body. It could be a static press here as you pause, or maybe little micro movements, little wiggles. We'll do 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Pausing in the center. Coming halfway out of child, reversing the feet. The top of the left foot nestles into the arch of the right foot, and then you push back with the hips, smushing your bottom right foot. The hands and the arms go on the earth to the right. The left hip pushes left diagonally, 45 degrees. Now you've created this huge stretch for the left side of the body. Maybe it's a static press, maybe it's little wiggles. You can decide. The side might feel different. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Back to center. Nice and gentle, unwinding the feet and coming on up to your knees. You might want to grab a folded towel or blanket here. We're going to come to sitting, so don't rush it, taking your time getting there. It's a nice idea to fold a blanket or towel to sit on, especially when you're sitting on the floor or the earth. And that allows the hips to tilt forward. The tendency is to want to like collapse backward. So pulling flesh away from sits bones, sitting on a folded blanket or towel. I'm using my blocks to prop my thighs. You can decide if that works for you or not. And let's just circle the rib cage, inhaling forward, exhaling back. Again, waking up those internal organs, sending them some fresh blood, chi, life force, and excreting all that has been used up and depleted. Let's corkscrew back to center. And now you're going to circle in the opposite direction. Big full breaths. A few more in this direction, in this way. And then coming back to center. So now I'm moving my blocks away. I'm taking the soles of the feet together. And we're going to let those soles of the feet kiss each other. You're going to let those bent knees collapse out to the side. Tuck the elbows into that soft part of the thigh. And you're going to rock side to side, opening up the hip crease some more. Those hips and the hip crease get so tight from just too much sedentary activity, or non-activity rather, sitting and driving and slumping over shopping carts, etc. We'll do 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Now I'm reintroducing the blocks behind my thighs, so I'm not gripping in my hip crease here to hold the legs up. The soles of the feet still kiss. You might want to grab the ankles, the feet, the toes. The back stays flat, and this will not be a big move. You're going to just go forward with a flat back. So imagine you've got a strap around your hips. They're pulling you to the wall behind. The chest is pulling forward. The soles of the feet are kissing, and you're stretching open your hip creases. And we're going to pause here at your optimum stretch, not your maximum. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then coming slowly back with the flat back. There you go. And then the knees come back together. Let's straighten the legs out. Shake them out. And now the legs and feet are in parallel. The feet are flexed. Let's go ahead and bend the right knee. The right foot stays flat. It can be either on the inside of the left leg or the outside of the left leg. But the foot should be flat on either choice. Okay. So the left elbow caresses the right bent knee. The right arm starts scanning the horizon to the right. When you come to your sticking point, you're looking over your right shoulder to the wall behind you. We're in a seated twist for 4, 3, 2, 1. Staying in the twist, just slightly release. Inhale, slightly release. Exhale, squeeze and turn. A little deeper maybe. Inhale, slightly release. Exhale, squeeze and turn. 2 more. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Coming back to center. You're going to drop the right bent knee off to the right. And if you want to support it with a block or a cushion, feel free. Both feet are flexed. Inhale up. Exhale, hands stretch forward somewhere in front of you. Your left hamstring should be humming by now. Try not to slump here. See if you can lead with the chest. Maybe it's a static press as you push forward with the chest and you squeeze back with the hips. Big full breaths for 4, 3, 2, 1, nice. And then walking back with the hands slowly. Let's unwind this leg. Shake both legs out. Now the right leg stays straight, the left knee bends. Left foot stays flat either on the inside or the outside of your right straight leg. And then that left bent knee is caressed by the right arm. The left arm is straight up, scanning the horizon, twisting left until you come to a sticking point. The back hand can rest by the hip. Big full breaths for a seated twist for 4, 3, 2, 1. Just slightly release. Inhale, slightly release. Exhale, squeeze and turn. 3 more. Inhale and squeeze. Inhale and squeeze. Inhale, slightly release. Exhale, squeeze and turn. And then you're going to slowly unwind. You're going to drop the left bent knee off to the side. Again, you might wish to prop that thigh so you're not gripping in your hip crease. Inhale up with the arms. Exhale, forward. Hands will land somewhere. Your right hamstrings might be humming now, possibly screaming. So you're not going to do your maximum. You're going to do your optimum. You're leading with the chest. The back is flat. Both feet are flexed for 4, 3, 2, 1. Walk back with the hands. Unwind the legs. Shake everything out. Oh, yeah. Take them a little bit wider this time. They're still straight. Hands can rest on the side. External rotation, back to center. Internal rotation, out. Pointing in for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then shake out the legs. Good work. Now let's turn and face that short end of the mat. You're not there already. I'm going to grab weight. So for this one, it could be no weight, one weight, or a block in your 2 hands. I'm holding my weight like a little dog bone. So I'm going to go inhale up in the center, exhale back and squeeze. Off to the left on the diagonal. Inhale up, exhale, squeeze. Let's go to the right. Inhale up, exhale, squeeze. So center and squeeze, diagonal left and squeeze, diagonal right. 2 more, that sequence. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Last round, center, diagonal left, diagonal right. Stay back, lift the chest, tuck the chin, drop the shoulders away. One lower leg comes parallel to the earth. Transverse abdominals squeezing. We'll do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Hands come to the center, foot comes down. Let's go forward with the chest and then come back and squeeze, lift the chest, drop the shoulders, opposite lower leg. Twisting, transverse abdominals for 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Weight goes away, foot comes down, chest comes through those knees. Now let's roll it all the way down onto the back body. Oh, this should feel pretty good. So the back of the neck is long. You've got the bent knees drawn into the chest. And maybe a little rock side to side might feel completely delicious. So you're massaging the whole back body, or maybe you want a round circle on that sacrum, which is the lower part, the bony part of the low back here. That sacrum is like a little appetizer plate. So you're circling on that, and if you're circling, be sure you circle in both directions. Giving yourself plenty of movement and stretch in both directions. Let's come back to center. Let's splay the knees wide apart. The feet float in the air. You're going to grab the ankles or the shins, maybe the feet. The feet still float in air, and then the weight of the arms is going to open up the hip crease. So since the feet are floating in the air, use this time to flex and point the feet. Spread the toes wide, circle the ankles for 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then shake everything out. Legs come back together, feet come back to earth. Let's everyone roll to the left so that the bottom hip is the left hip. So we're not mirroring you on this, okay? Bottom hip is left hip. I'm using a block for my blanket. My pillow, rather. My blanket's at home. And so now that my left arm is straight out from the armpit. The legs are stacked. And the legs are in a right angle. Float the top right leg. The foot is flexed. It stays flexed throughout. Inhale, bend right knee. Exhale, extend the leg perpendicular to your body. That leg is parallel to the earth. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the leg straight. Now internally rotate the whole top right leg. The big toe points to the earth. Touch and lift. Touch and lift. 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Refloat it. That straight leg goes down like you're standing on it, but you're still floating it in the air. It's still internally rotated. Big toe points to the floor. Touch and lift. Touch and lift. 4, 3, 2, 1. Refloat. Go slightly behind, not too much. If the low back feels pinched, you've gone too far. So adjust and make sure that leg is internally rotated. Big toe points to the floor. Touch and lift. Touch and lift. 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Refloat. Restack that top right leg. So imagine there's a glass wall behind you so you're not collapsing backward. You're going to refloat the top right leg with a strap or your hand. You're going to grab the shin, the ankle, the top of the right foot. The hips are still stacked as you draw that leg behind you through that imaginary glass wall. You're pressing the right foot into the right hand, the right hand into the right foot. It's an isometric press. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Release it, restack. Take a breath or 2 here. Readjust those ribs, those bottom ribs. Refloat the top right leg, stretch it out just like we started. Now you're going to swing that leg, big rainbow arc, swinging the whole straight top leg, bottom to top, for 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Restack. Take a breath or 2, and then roll over onto your back body and roll onto the other side so that the bottom hip is the right hip. Bottom hip is the right hip. You're stacking those legs and hips. The legs make a right angle, and your right arm comes straight out from your armpit at a perpendicular angle to your body. You're going to imagine there's a glass wall behind you, so the minute you start moving that top leg, you're not collapsing backward. So you're going to float the top left leg. Inhale, bend left knee. Exhale, straighten the leg. Bending and straightening. We'll do 4, 3, 2, 1. The leg is straight. Now you're internally rotating it. Big toe points to the floor. Touch and lift. Touch and lift. 4, 3, 2, 1. We float. The leg goes down like you're standing on it, but you're still floating it in the air. The leg is internally rotated. The big toe points to the floor. Touch and lift. Touch and lift. 4, 3, 2, 1. Refloat it on behind you just slightly. Don't pinch the low back. The big toe still points to the floor. Touch and lift. Touch and lift. 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Refloat. Restack. Very mindfully take a breath or two here. Refloat the top left leg. With your hand or a strap, grab the shin, the ankle, the top of the left foot. The hips stay stacked. As you draw that leg through your invisible glass wall, you're pressing the left foot into the left hand into the left foot. Don't forget that isometric press. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Release it. Restack briefly. Take a breath or two to recover. Refloat the top left leg. Straighten the leg so it's perpendicular to your body. Big rainbow sweep with the leg. Sweeping up and down, up and down. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Restack those legs, and then all you have to do is roll onto your back body. And then draw the knees into the chest as you're ready. Realign the spine so you're nice and straight. And just rolling side to side. Oh, this should feel good. And then coming to stillness, let's drop the feet down to the earth. The knees are still bent. The feet are mat width apart. You've got knees and the arms in T position, and you're going to windshield wiper the bent knees, giving some relief now to the lower body area, just stretching it and twisting it, etc. So just giving some fresh blood flow into that area. We'll do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Back to center. And then very mindfully, let's just straighten the right leg. The left leg comes into the chest, the bent knee. You're going to float the right leg up and do little pumps. And if you want more stress or more challenge, lift the head, neck, and shoulders. Pumping the straight leg for 4, 3, squeeze the abs, 2, 1. Leg comes down, foot comes down, head and neck come down. Bend the right knee. Straighten the left leg. Right bent knee into chest. Left straight leg elevates. Maybe hold the head and the neck as you pump the left leg up to sky. 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Everything comes down. Whee! Let's bend both knees. Take right hand on right knee, left hand on left knee, and just circle the femur bone into the socket. And then you're going to circle in the other direction. Very easily. Nice. And then bringing that to stillness, let's go ahead and let's just invert the legs up. Let's just shake the legs up and down. Nice and easy for 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Kick yourself in the butt for 8, 7, 6. Pump those legs. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then slowly the legs come down. Stillness. Let's go ahead and stretch the arms and legs out 30 to 45 degrees as we arrive. And you know what? Shavasana, resting pose, corpse pose. Let the feet flop out to the side. Just align the spine so that everything is lined up beautifully, working on your perfect posture, even when you're lying down. If this is flat on the back is not working, you can rebend the knees. Feet are mat width apart. Knock the knees together in the center like a tent. That's restorative rest pose. If flat on the back doesn't work, return to where we just were, resting your head on the upper arm or a block or a cushion in a block. Legs and hips are stacked. Or you can put legs up the wall if you have an available wall. Or you can lie on the mat with your low legs on the chair seat, which is a delicious way to do Shavasana. Or you could sit in your chair, feet flat, crown of head floats up to sky, long spine, face and jaw nice and relaxed. And then once you've organized your best version of child pose, just letting the eyes drop closed. Scanning the body for the effects of the practice and breathing into any residual tension that might remain. And then noticing a warmth starting in the soles of the feet, as though you're placing your feet in our imaginary hot tub. And that warmth permeates the toes, the feet, the ankles, and then the low legs. It envelops the shins and the calves. Then it moves into the knee joints. And then it moves into the thighs, so that legs and feet now are very, very heavy. From there, it moves into the hips and pelvis. The low back releases, the buttocks release. From the belly, it moves into the waist and torso, enveloping the ribs, heart, lungs, liver, kidneys, spleen, pancreas, colon, large intestines, small intestines. All the vital organs marinating in delicious relaxation. From there, it moves into the chest and shoulders and rolls down both arms all the way to the fingertips. All the way to the fingertips. From there, it moves into the throat and the neck. And then it envelops the head all the way to the crown of the head. Back of the neck releases. Face and jaw let go. The tongue lies at the bottom of the mouth, teeth slightly apart. Eyes sink deep into the skull, as though a white circle of healing light permeates every cell in the body. Noticing back body and front body, right side and left side. Noticing the whole body together now. The whole body together. The whole body together. And here's a very short poem from our friend Mary Oliver. The poem is not the world. It isn't even the first page of the world. But the poem wants to flower like a flower. It knows that much. It wants to open itself like the door of a little temple so that you might step inside and be cooled and refreshed, and less yourself than part of everything. If you'd like to remain in Shavasana for as long as feels right, please feel free to stay right there. If you're ready to meet the day, begin to bring some gentle movement to fingers and toes and arms and legs. And as you are ready, then drawing the knees into the chest, giving yourself a well-deserved hug. And then rolling onto your favorite side and pausing there for just a few breaths in embryo posture. And on the next inhale, keeping the eyes closed, press yourself up into a comfortable seated posture. rooting the sits bones down into the earth, drawing the crown of the head up into the sky, scanning the body for the effects of the practice, and thanking the body for all it does all day, every day, and bringing to mind one thing for which you are grateful. And on the next inhale, let's float the palms up overhead, hands meet in prayer, dropping down the midline, stopping at the heart, samastiti, this beating heart. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you stand in the light of your own true self. I salute the bright light in each and every one of you. Namaste. Jai Bhagwan.